You mean the underdog ain't scared to scrap with everybody in the yard. I get what you mean.
Right. You ain't trying to subs off with kissing ass.
Well, you gotta understand, dude. I come from that I come from a certain generation. I ain't old, but we getting there. And
no doubt.
Growing up, dude. Sometimes, to be real with you, growing up for me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't hard. But being the oldest child, it got its trials. It got its trials and tribulations. And to be rich, I ain't never had no big brother to come help me. So you learn how to fight for. You learn how to have to stand up for yourself. And the quicker you learn how to do that, the better you become at it. The less and less problems you're gonna have. You start to realize that.
Right. And I just got introduced to the whole the concept or the manosphere thing, so I just kind of got hip to that.
Well, the truth be told, somebody put a name on what men have already been doing. And the name is quite catchy. I like the name Manosphere. You're like, yeah, that makes sense, dude. All of us, we all different content creators, different groups, and you all just merging together just merging together as a community, as a society. I just hope that it tightens the fuck up within the next year, because, dude, I mean, like the shit that happened to BMT, that can happen to any dude. The same shit that happened to Taz, that can happen to any one of us. And, because we got our differences, I may not like this one, I may not like that one. It make it easy for some people to pick us off one by one. We ain't got to like each other, but at least when it comes down to certain things, you got to be able to join together. And I'm gonna be real with you. I hate to say it, but that Suge dude, I don't want to call him a problem, but I will say it's problematic what he's doing. And I don't know what his real motivation is. I'm still trying to decipher. I'm still trying to determine if it's like if it's some type of malicious intent to do it, or do you think you're just really doing the community a service? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is his real motivation? Is he really think he's doing the community a service, or is he just trying to mess something up? And more, it's starting to look like he's just messing something up.
Or do we really know what goes on behind the scenes? Because there's certain dynamics that are happening between content creators that there may be a backstory to. So
bro, I'm realizing there's a lot of backstories in this shit.
Yeah, see.
I wouldn't be surprised if all of us are not kissing the devil's ass. I'm being real with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, because people you find out that you thought didn't know each other actually know each other behind the scenes, maybe know each other in life, and they may have had some drama or some issue in the past, and now it's time to get back. You really don't know what's going on, and so it's hard to say whether or not somebody's justified in their actions. I don't necessarily agree with the whole concept of doxing, but I mean, I don't know what the backstory is. Maybe there's more to it, and maybe they're doxing for a reason. Who knows? I don't know.
I suspect I got my suspicions because I've been informed that somebody got my paperwork sitting on their lap somewhere. I don't know how true that is, but I really don't give a fuck. And to whom this may concern, the damn day you bring it out here, trust me, it's gonna be your damn judgment day. But the thing about it is,
see, that's the reason.
Huh? No, the person go ahead.
No, go ahead.
From what I understand, the person who might be trying me with it is a corny little motherfucker, and he is a YouTube, he's a content creator, and bottom line is just being nosy. You know what I'm saying? Because you looking at people as being potential threats when you're not really listening to what the person really saying. You know what I mean? Like, for example, remember that video I did, the one with Obsidian in them? Hello?
Which one?
The one I was acting a fool when I had Obsidian, the one that ended up getting shut down. You ever seen that one?
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. A lot of people had a problem with that shit. Supposedly. I'm like, I don't understand. You know, in my mind, I'm like, I can't imagine why the fuck you got a problem with me doing this shit. But it's not until you start to pay attention to how many people started emulating what I was doing and was sucking at it. It's like one of the things you start to realize that sometimes, you know, you might be able to do things that other people ain't able to do. You get what I'm saying? And you just ain't really, you really ain't put no coin to it yet.
That's why they called you RoboCop.
It's a little shit like that because, you know, I'm just telling you what the fuck I see, and then some people get taken it the wrong way, and they're like, oh, this nigga he out of line. You know, and sometimes what it is that the fact of the matter, nobody. It's the thing where everybody sees a potential pop. It's called a pop, meaning that, you know, at any given time, you know, if this one person pop, they may pop up, and that'll be it for the rest of us. You get what I'm saying? And so what you end up with sometimes, people just trying to just keep people at a certain level just for the sake of just keeping things, you know, keeping where everybody got some type of say so and control of the environment. You get what I mean?
Right. You know, from the outside looking in, you know, I see. It's a lot of sensitive guys in this whole thing, and you know, that's related with the manosphere. I see a lot of sensitivity just from the outside looking in. I mean, you know, especially when you're dealing with people that you've never met before. I mean, I really couldn't see myself getting up in arms with people that I don't rub shoulders with on a daily basis outside of social media.
Right.
And also people are kind of like, you know, not really, you know, we talk, if you're going to talk manosphere, and if you're going to put your content out there, you have to be prepared to have your ideology challenged. And you also have to be prepared to kind of like also question your ideology, because you might be standing on some bullshit. And, you know, so, I mean, it's just, if you're going to put the man in front of anything, then, you know, in situations that you speak of, or any situation, you're just going to kind of have to man up.
So what is your suggestion?
Any kind of...
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
What's going on?
My name is... Yeah, what's going on, man? This is Kev from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. I'm one of the Habitual Line Steppers. Who's that was just speaking?
We cannot disclose names at this time in this conversation. If you do not recognize the voice, that's just you on your own. But go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, I was courteous enough to introduce myself, sir.
Yeah, I know, but I want you to think of this as
this, of course, is your program, so I'll respect, you know, what you got going.
Appreciate it.
So what do you suggest when you face an attack? Some self-reflection first before you answer it?
Self-reflection. I mean, yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, I guess. I mean, everybody's adult enough to know if the criticism is just coming from a place of somebody giving you, you know, opinion, observation. And I mean, I guess you should be wise enough to know when you're being attacked. So, I mean, you know, and again, like I said, I'm just speaking from the outside looking in on certain cases. I don't know them all. And I also know, you know, I mean, this to the internet, I mean, you're going to get trolling. I mean, you know, to distinguish when you're being trolled, or also when you're the one doing the troll. You know?
Well, I mean, you also have to trust that adults have proper discernment also. You know, meaning that if they view something as constructive criticism, you have to trust that. Or if they view something as an attack, they just view it as an attack. You have different perceptions. Now, you know, the way you may judge how a person reacts may not be the way somebody else judges. So, you know, but I say that to say this. I see a lot of people always taking jabs at the kind of characters these people have, instead of just trying to look at what they're actually trying to say. Now, me being on social media for a while, you know, I've experienced that quite often. You know, people, I'm me trying to say one thing and then someone else perceiving it as the next, and then, you know, this leads to this total big ass misunderstanding. So
we know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, you're right though, but this is the thing when you take consideration. I mean, first thing I say, you gotta just ask yourself what you on it. What are you on the internet for? Like, you know, what's your main purpose? Like, why you on YouTube? You know, why are you putting this content up? And also, when you get personal attacks, especially if these are people that you don't know, you don't know who some of these people are behind these avatars. You could be talking to somebody that, you know, that got a pedophile record. You could be talking to a weirdo. You could be talking to somebody that's in a wheelchair trolling you all day. Like, you don't know these people, man. I mean, because, you know, and go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, or it could be slander altogether, like I've been observing this past week.
A lot of it like I said, I think a lot of it's intentional.
I mean, a lot of it is slander, and a lot of it came with receipts. That's all I say.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, if it could, again, like I said, it could be slander. I mean, you know, okay, like we just had an incident. Not we, but we're just looking at an incident. With what's the guy? What's the homie name? Tariq Nasheed. Let's use him for example.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Do you see the slander over the years that this guy has received? You know what I mean? He's been called everything, you know, but the
That's because he's a social media influencer. Social media influencers, especially really popular ones.
Right. No, but my point is, even though he's a social media influence, you can take a cue from that. You know what I'm saying? Is some things you can just let fly. You know what I'm saying? You can just let slide. I mean, again, you know, these are people that, you know, you're not going to come in contact with in your everyday life. So who gives a damn what they say? Like, you know, that's all I'm saying. But that's when I spoke to the sensitivity of this all, and you just got to ask yourself, what is your main goal? What's your main objective? Why you up here? Even when we talk about the Pookie and Ray Ray.
Oh, here we go.
I can't. Me personally, I can't stand that. I can't stand that debate.
I mean, I can't stand it either. I can't stand it either. But it seemed like a lot of the narrative takes for that Pookie and Ray Ray archetype.
But at the end of the day, you might right now you're talking to a Pookie and Ray Ray that basically rearranged his life, went to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a guy. You got to take my word.
So how do you? Let me ask you a question. Let
me finish my point.
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, you got to ask yourself. Everybody can more or less, you know, be redeemed. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that whole educated lame thing, Pookie and Ray Ray. Yeah, there are some educated lames. Yes, that are lame. There are some Pookie and Ray Rays that are dusty. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we are from the same community. And if we're trying to basically get to some kind of place where we're trying to heal the community, you know what I'm saying? We're all going to have to work together. And it's something, like I said, what's the saying? I think I heard it up here. You know what I'm saying? You know, eat the meat and throw away the bones. So there's some people that's just not going to make it. But my whole objective is not to focus on those that are not going to make it. I'm going to focus on those that basically have the same ideology. If we have a set goal to try to basically build the community, get the community right, that's the place where I'm going. But I'm not going to spend my time slandering a group of people all day, every day. It really doesn't go anywhere.
Slander.
Yeah, the slander just doesn't go anywhere. So what I'm gonna do is, when I listen to content that doesn't resonate with me, you know, I'm just man enough where I can just kind of like turn it off. I subscribe to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I don't have to make no brand announcement. I don't have to make 100 troll pages. I'm slandering a person, because what I found, bullshit content and bullshit ideology will die off on its own.
Right.
But let me ask you this real quick though. Let me ask you this: House 78. Do you create content?
No. I'm just an observer. So
okay, so that's where you have the misunderstanding, because you don't create content. You see, I create content sporadically, so I don't really have a full understanding. LoadKast probably creates a lot more content than I do.
About the same amount.
But here's the thing. Okay, so we both create content sporadically. But you have people on YouTube who they have a subsistence off the content they create, meaning they rely on Super Chat, Patreon, they rely on private consultations. So they have there's a whole economy based on YouTube. And so if somebody presents information that discredits you as a content creator, then now your livelihood is attacked. So this is the reason why you have some of the responses that you have when you think, oh, well, that's just scrutiny. Why are you upset over somebody who has a different opinion? Well, now it's affecting their pockets. This is the reason why people are so up in arms. Like, for instance, I have my super chats turned on. I've got super chats from I haven't cashed out any of my super chats. Every super chat that I've got, I've never spent one penny of it. I've never even claimed it. Because I'm not relying on YouTube. I don't make enough content consistently enough to rely on this as a source of income. I still work. I'm at work right now, allegedly. So, but people who actually rely on these super chats, they rely on these Patreon, they're going to have a different response when somebody says something that kind of discredits their name. So I think.
Okay. I agree. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with you on that. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal with your boy eMpTy and everything that's been happening. Because I'm kind of in that too, but you know, I know the real, and you can take it how you want to take it. There's a history between everybody in eMpTy, but when you go on your community page and you call somebody a convicted rapist who wasn't convicted, and then you try to job shame another person just because you got called on bullshit, then, you know, that has to be answered. If you're going to slander someone, it has to be answered. Let me see. Any of y'all aware of the Rollo Show channel? That guy.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I've heard of Rollo.
Yeah. We as in Donnie, Roger Stevens, Reigning Woman, Rain. I'm sure you heard these names mentioned because
I'm familiar with some of these people.
Yeah. We ran into a broadcast where Rollo was showing a screenshot, and basically he was dogging Reigning Woman. So we wondering what happened, and the screenshot was taken from our Hangout chat. And what we came to find out is these people know eMpTy, so we questioned eMpTy about it. He's very vague. He's very vague, but you know, this is all hearsay. This you know, nobody has any reason to believe that. So so we came out with a broadcast asking them why things were said. But the thing is, though, we're dealing with a man that's willing to throw females under the bus just to try to get at somebody. We didn't even know that broadcast with Rollo was going on. And if we didn't receive the link through our source, we wouldn't have known. It's no telling what was said. So I would say I would try to look into all the facts and to look into what everybody was saying before we treat this guy like a victim, because it's a lot more to it than I think y'all have an idea of. And for somebody like Reigning Woman to be attacked out of nowhere because of him, that's something you need to look at. So that's all I'm saying.
Here's my issue, right?
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't like I said before. There's a lot of times there's dynamics that goes on behind the scenes, and so you don't know how people know each other outside of you. So it may seem like somebody is being attacked for no reason, but there may be a justification for it. Okay, but my point above all this is that as men, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna go and say, oh, well, you know, you married and you sleeping with this. Like I don't even get involved with that. Like when that exchange happened, I stayed out of it because that doesn't involve me. Now, if somebody,
but you know with women though, but with women that shit's different. Those were women talking.
Hold on for a second. If I'm involved in that, and I understand the dynamics that's going on behind the scenes, and I want to speak on it, then that's fine. But for me, as an outside observer, and I don't really know what's going on, I don't think it's right for me really to add fuel to that fire. I'm not going to take either side. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, there may be something else going on beyond that, and so I'm not going to contribute to that. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, I would say this. I would definitely not contribute to taking advantage of an emotionally vulnerable person. who has a substance abuse problem. I would say that.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I see the situation a certain way. Other people see the situation a certain way. You are allowed to judge the situation for yourself. But from what I observed, it looks pretty bad, no matter how I feel about the guy. Period. I'm not gonna come in here treating the man like a saint.
But now let me. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, bro.
Yeah.
You're a black man, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And you see the problems that we have as black men, correct?
Absolutely.
Do you still, even in spite of how you may feel that he's right or wrong, do you think you are able to be somewhat fair enough to at least let him give his opinion or his perspective and just let it be, for the record? You get what I'm saying? Be it truthful or be it true or not true. But, he said no for the record. You get what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's cool, but how long have you known this guy? I mean, we've been dealing with him for quite some time. I would say over a year.
Be honest with you,
we had.
I think I probably known him for maybe about 6 months now.
6 months. I mean, because he tried to,
believe me, I do not. I find myself more and more being involved on this back end bullshit, but I'm really not that fucking interested in it. You get what I'm saying? Because instinctively you start to catch on that this is people with too much damn time on their hands. Who got time to? If it's not about creating content, specifically about creating content, I can give a rat's ass less about the gossip. And there's a lot of gossip on the back end.
Yeah, there's a lot of gossip in the back. I mean, it's like, and it's in all aspects of this black sector of YouTube, which is not that huge.
It's not that huge, but goddamn, but it's just that damn grimy.
Yeah, it is, and I do agree with that. But you got a lot of egos. Wouldn't you agree that there are a lot of smaller YouTubers that's coming in here with a set, and it might be hurting a lot of the more incumbent, bigger YouTubers? Would you agree that happened?
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think that does happen sometimes, but at the same time, I give credit where credit is due to like some of the longer time creators, that's been in there through the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not showing them any disrespect, but it's like when you come in like you big shit to a smaller YouTuber who's just trying to come up and find their way, then you're going to leave an indelible impression on that person. Like, hey, you know what? You're just as human as I am. And that's what happened. Like, okay, at first with like me and what's his name? it was like that. It was like, okay, you're already on YouTube. Cool. Give me a couple tips here and there. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to act like, I knew everything when I first came in. But it started to become this little learning tree thing, which, I feel like I'm under nobody's learning tree, no matter how much advice I ask you for. It became this little ego thing. It became this little, Kev, why don't you do things this way. I don't do that with people. It's like me and you are still two like black men, as you say. Right. But when I brought other guys in, and I'm not gonna say I brought them in, I kind of encouraged them to start YouTube channels on their own. They kind of butted heads, and that's where that ego thing came in. And then everything just began to snowball, and we saw what kind of dude he was for real. And right now, as of everything that's happened recently, especially with the last 2 days, because this kind of started with him. This kind of started with him doing a broadcast on his channel, and he was throwing up screenshots, and he was doing a little slandering himself. And that's
Can I come in on that?
Oh, what's up, Rain?
Hi, fellas on the panel. I'm Rain. Y'all probably heard about me in the past couple of days. I'm not
Rain,
a YouTuber.
this is a manosphere meeting. Gentlemen, do y'all feel comfortable with her being in this conversation?
Well,
it's your channel, but I am. She's, if you...
Anybody else?
I just want to say one thing and get off, because I'm actually video game streaming.
Hold it. Okay, nobody's spoken. Go ahead, Rain.
Actually, I think this will bring some clarity to the situation, because Rain Amoy was one of the names that I saw in the actual game. back
Yes,
chat.
it was me.
All right, go ahead, Rain. You're welcome to speak.
Well, I just thought, like, I've been listening. I'm currently streaming, so I really can't be on too long.
Take your time,
But
man.
I just want to address this. I don't have any issues with anybody on YouTube. I
Cool.
don't. I subscribe to I try to support Black people, especially Black YouTubers, male or female. I don't want no drama. I don't care for drama. I just, as a female that is building a brand as a video game streamer,
Okay.
I didn't like the attack that I had on me when I personally didn't go out and attack that individual. Other than that, I didn't care. Like, the screenshot of my inbox, my body pictures, I don't care. I tell everybody the truth. Yes, I used to be a stripper. I don't care. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of my body. But don't sit there and twist the narrative of our chat, our inbox, like I'm some type of prostitute or whatever.
Right.
That's why I did what I did yesterday. Other than that, I don't care. I tried to be the adult in the situation and talk to said individual, and I had a conversation and wanted to end the drama. I tried it Monday. I tried it before that show got out yesterday, the night after I heard about the show about me. And said individual told me this: you're not a YouTuber. You don't have a platform. Nobody's going to listen to you. Your screenshots don't matter. Do what you got to do.
So
That to me was fucked
ahead,
up
Ray.
overall.
Okay.
So that's why I did what I did. I had to defend myself. Other than that, y'all don't see me. Like, I help out Donnie and them, Kev, with shows here and there, but I don't want to be involved in any of this manosphere, YouTube sphere, woman sphere, any of this.
Well,
But I just came to speak that real quick.
Well, that's cool.
But go ahead.
Let me ask this question, just a little bit off topic. What games do you play?
Currently I'm playing Friday the 13th. I play Apex, Fortnite. I'm playing something called a Plague's Tale. It just came out. Call of Duty, Tomb Raider. I play a lot of different games.
Are you playing Minecraft?
No.
Why not? Why not?
It's not my type of game. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking about purchasing a Minecraft server. That's why.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what? Get it, because my kids love it.
But it's
my
not.
kids
But
play
it's
that
not.
all the time.
You know, I want it for just like people to like
Adults?
Just build.
Oh, I know.
No, just to build stuff. You know, and just build stuff, and do whatever they want to do. Build, have conflicts, and do that kind of stuff. But I would like to see more Black people jumping on the Minecraft thing, because I don't want to feel like I'm by myself. It's just me and stealth.
Don't be. It's a lot of people that play that, so don't feel bad. Like, I mean, hey, if you got a channel, like, I'm gonna subscribe to your channel because I didn't know your channel existed until today. So you got a subscriber, and if you have any other networks or gaming stuff, let me know, because I do have a
this is the only
gaming
channel I
thing
have,
on
and
Facebook.
This is my only blog channel. This is my only channel I'm using. I talk about. You can ask me almost anything, any technical questions. I'll make a video, have you up here. If you just want to talk about technical stuff, you're more than welcome to come on. We can have that conversation. I do see myself as a member of the manosphere, and this is just my little section of the manosphere.
I know nothing about that.
Okay. No,
that's how oblivious
the
is.
manosphere is nothing more than just the men's social group. That's all it is. And you just got guys who just huddle together based on different perspectives and opinions. That's all. But it's not all one ideal homogenized ideology. It's not. It's just a bunch of guys.
Okay, it's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. No, because some people.
I support you, brother.
Because you welcome, sis. But it's just the problem is that you hear some people come out with a lot of negative stuff they'll say about the manosphere, and you're like that don't make no damn sense. Like you may see some women who will make videos about the manosphere, and they'll make these blanketing statements when it's in their better interest to just talk specifically about individuals who you have a problem with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But instead, you call up the whole group, and everybody's looking like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it is what it is.
Hey, LoadKast,
it's
can I
fine.
say something to the sister?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, if y'all have any questions,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanna
I
say-
gotta start back playing.
No questions, but she kind of spoke to what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it gets no more grown up and adult than that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got somebody putting up screenshots of her nude, and she's like, okay, cool. You know, all right, I was a strip. You know, what's happening? You know what I mean? But I'm here for a different reason. I'm here for gaming, etc., etc. All right, let's move on. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, if you're up here, you're going to have thick skin. You know what I'm saying? People are going to come for you. And I honestly, me personally, take it as a compliment when somebody's throwing shots at you. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you relevant. But, however, being though that I'm not a content creator, I get it. Because everybody is pulling from the same population. So it's only right that you defend your name when you're basically fighting for the same attention. But, however, just like how the sister did, she stated her case. And once you state your case, man, just drop it, leave it alone. Just keep it moving.
Yeah, I'm over it at this point. I just know people are going to talk about it. And hey, if people want to ask me questions, hey, hit me up. I'm on Facebook, Christina Rain. You can message me, inbox me. You can ask me anything. I'm very upfront about my life, what I do. It's no problem. I don't have to lie.
Cool.
But to sit there and portray me as an individual when you and me both know that's not how things went down, you know I'm not like that, was crazy. I'm like, wow, like, you have my phone number. You have me on Facebook. You have me in Google Hangouts. I got screenshots of me. I think SuperTriz was in that chat. I don't know for sure, but I was trying to get people to talk about it. Be adults. Let's talk about this before it gets any worse.
But see, that's what I was talking about, Rain. Like, I felt like by me speaking on it and not knowing the backstory, it'd just be adding fuel to the fire. So I didn't say anything, if you noticed.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be an instigator. But
no, that's understandable.
You feel me? So that's all I'm saying. Like, and I think that people who don't know what's going on, but who input themselves into situations like that are only instigating. And I don't think I see a problem with that. Like, I think that's part of the problem, is that people consistently insert themselves in things when you don't know what's really going on. So, like, I didn't know what was going on, so I just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I tried it, y'all. I tried it Monday, and it was the calm before the storm. I knew something was gonna happen, but I didn't know how bad it was gonna get. Nor did I know I was gonna be the target. Oh. And I felt like I was the target because I'm friends with these individuals, and it was to hurt me to reach to my friend. Like,
but one thing
person was like, "Hey, go ahead."
Something I discovered out here, and it's something that you learn in life. You have to be careful about the type of associations that you make. And I think what happens a lot of times, we come out here, we think, on the top end of social media, of YouTube and all these other different platforms, it looks happy and friendly. But on the back end, it's not that pretty. People get involved. It's everybody has an apparatus to communicate and to publicize anything and everything that happens. And you see a lot of people who are taking advantage of that opportunity to publicize anything and everything that happens to them by an individual. And like I said, and personally, when it comes down to the two specific people this was about, I don't think anybody's guilty. I don't think anybody's innocent by no stretch. I believe everybody played their due roles, and some people just look better than others.
I mean, that's cool, but when you got other people getting hurt because somebody wants to start mess between us and somebody else, like Raining Woman, and it's like Raining Woman doesn't mess with anybody. Like, seriously. Why would you want Raining Woman attacked?
But again, sometimes you be hooked up with other folk who other people don't like. I mean, think about it. It's like being in a gang sometimes, if somebody is after say they don't like this particular gang organization, and they decide to open shots on that person, everybody who's associated with that gang may end up becoming targets. And you see a lot of this stuff happening out here, man. I mean, it's really cliquish out here in social media. It's really
Yeah,
clicking.
yeah. I mean,
Super brother.
I didn't know it was that serious in these YouTube streets that you got to go
Man,
start some mess.
these YouTube streets, dude, you gotta say you're dealing with people from all different walks of life. And and the problem is with all, and you would think people could come together and just put their differences aside and have some type of utopia among themselves, because and maybe in the real world you got, whatever reasons in the real world that brings you to that cause you to gravitate towards this virtual world. You think you'll be able to escape from some of that stuff, but it seems like it's not possible.
Well, I just want to say thank you guys for letting me speak.
Hey, you're welcome.
That real quick.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I gotta finish my stream. No, if y'all have anything y'all want to say, y'all have my email. Y'all can contact me, Christina Rain on Facebook, and
cool.
I'm good. Y'all probably won't even see me in the YouTube world anymore after this.
No, it's cool.
I'm good.
I mean, anytime you want to come by, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I don't. I really, really try to keep my nose clean.
If you have any more gaming questions, hey, just hit me up.
If you got any for me, if you see the live stream going, just ask, okay?
All right, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night.
You too, man. And we were saying, guys, gentlemen.
What's going on, Reigning Woman?
Good early morning, everyone. I just happened to wake up and saw that this was happening. I know I've missed a great deal of the stream. And y'all please forgive me because I know that I'm already hard to hear. And then my early morning or wake up voice or whatever is even lighter. So I'm going to try to speak up. So can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you on the volume. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. First of all, I want to say thank you, LoadKast, for doing this. Shout out to everyone on the panel. I'm not even sure who's all on here and whoever's in the chat room. But I just came up because I just heard the part about, about this thing being thickish and being careful who you associate yourself with or whatever. Reigning Woman, from the jump of me ever being on panels and stuff, I have always said that Reigning Woman does not do clicks. And this has really been like super frustrating. And I'm gonna try to just stay, keep it cool, whatever. But Reigning Woman don't do no fucking clicks. I'm a grown ass woman, and this stuff that people do with like all these clicks and stuff, it is it's beneath me. I don't know why it's not beneath a lot of other people that's supposed to be grown men and grown women. But Reigning Woman don't seek anyone's validation. I don't need your approval or anything. And whoever I choose to associate myself with is usually based upon character or commonalities that doesn't have anything to do with destroying anyone or hurting other people. Period. I have a huge stand for humanity. My first stand is to live a life that honors my parents, my family name, and that glorifies the Most High and supports my stand for humanity. So when people do trash stuff and get other people thrown in the mist because of their petty drama and their inability or their unwillingness to make amends for something or work things out like grown people, and then try to twist the narrative and then say, well, okay, well, these people got put involved in this or whatever because of their association. It doesn't have anything to do with this or do with y'all or do with them. That's freaking immature, and that's the kind of stuff that needs to be called out. This thing with before some of this stuff even popped out, like I'm always one in the back end trying to be very diplomatic and very cooperative and very understanding. But there are certain individuals that have made that impossible because they want to dig their heels in the sand to save face or to continue to just get validation from others that really and truly didn't matter. because at the end of the day, if a manosphere, if a whatever kind of group you associate with or whatever, as you're as an individual, especially as grown people, how you look in this world, the integrity of your personal character to me more than anything. Brandon Woman came in this. I'm a Gemini. I'm my only damn twin. I came in this beast alone. I'm gonna live this life alone. I'm gonna do this journey alone. Everyone else along this journey, associates, friends, or whatever, at the end of the day, the character of my name depends upon me. And as men in this so-called manosphere, it makes the manosphere look even the more weaker. This is why, because the manosphere judges a lot of women based upon generalization. There are a lot of blanketed statements to cover, especially when it comes to the black woman. But when it comes to holding men's feet to the fire, that stuff is drugged out, and it is very slowly done, all for the sake of supposedly manhood. People in the manosphere are around here supporting people that in the back end we have so freaking many receipts. It's ridiculous. For them not even being true to who they say they are. For the sake of manhood. You have men out here in the manosphere that are holding on and supporting men and like it's like they have an alliance to nothing. And we're not supposed to question their sexuality.
Well, I think I don't want to go into that section which you just said last, but I want to say this here much to you, Rainy Woman, and be honest. You see women doing a lot of the same stuff you see the men doing too. And my thing about it is, it seems like the women have no problem keeping their side of keeping tight lip on the same stuff that they do, but then have a problem when the men do it. But then when the men then there's a problem. And my thing about go ahead.
No, let me say this. No. This ain't this kind of situation. I know exactly what you're talking about, but this ain't it, bro.
Listen. No matter how y'all want to cut it, see, the problem is we keep trying to weigh this stuff instead of just looking at it for what it is. It's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. But the first thing everybody want to do is put a grade behind. Want to put some type of grade or quality behind the qualifier behind the bullshit. Oh, this is worse than that one. No, don't measure it no more. Be sensible as an adult and look at it for what it is. It's bullshit. And just ask everybody, rightfully so, to cut all the bullshit out. Not just, well, this is worse than that one, because you know what? It all adds up. It's all bullshit. No matter how you want to cut it, but everybody want to come jump on this case and jump on that case. It's all bullshit. Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead.
Now, y'all got to excuse me because I'm out of the country, so my perception is greater. I also got my son, so you might hear him crying. But
hey, boo, my little baby.
Hey, love. I came in to speak on the situation because
I'm talking about the baby. That wasn't for you. But go ahead.
Came in to speak on the situation because it's getting dragged out for too long, right? Because like you said, it's a lot of bullshit out there, right? But all the bullshit needs to be put out on the table in order for us to get past to see who we're dealing with. So if we're talking really on, BMT front, BMT's a dude who's been really slandering me for the last couple of days. Now, he want to sit up and play victim about what he brought to himself because, let's be honest, he did this shit to himself. He went out here, he tried to set it up so that Raining Woman was looking like she came on into my show.
Can I stop you just for 1 second? Can I stop you just for 1 second? 1 second, please. Where is BMT at?
He'll be on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? I didn't hit homie up on a few occasions. He don't want to answer.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had that question. Where is he at? Okay, go ahead.
He'll be on tomorrow.
And we were glad to come back tomorrow.
He'll be on by himself.
I ain't coming back. Well, I might come back. It's the middle. I'm 6 hours ahead of you guys. So it's 7 a.m. here. So it depends on when y'all do the show.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm tired of this nigga. This nigga is out here doing fuckery. I don't know if he's trying to get himself rating. I don't know if he feels if he's jealous, if he's just trying to be messy. But all I see is this bullshit from this nigga, and I'm tired of this nigga doing it. And it just so happened that the shit he was doing with Rain and Woman, I've seen the shit he was doing with Cole, and the nigga had to get exposed.
My question is, again, at some point, I got a question. Anybody who's really close knit with him, why aren't y'all asking him? Why don't you asking him to stop doing what he's doing? I know everybody
we have tried that.
But the thing is, the point I'm trying to make is that even when it comes down to me, if somebody comes with some bullshit, I got to tell them, look, man, you got to try to cut that dumb shit.
Hey, dude, we've been there and around the world with that shit for real.
Okay.
Like we've tried talking to this guy
I got a show.
number of times.
Show. You don't answer me. Joe ducks me on every occasion when it comes to this man-to-man shit. So at this point, he chose to slander me on a public forum. So at this point, I responded on a public forum. This man up here with my record out. Now everybody at this point know my record. I was falsely accused of sexual assault. The shit got dismissed. They did a rape kick on the chick. The chick was shown not to have sex that night. So it's no way possible she was raped. It was impossible. So they dismissed the charges. Joe putting it up, it shows dismissed on the paperwork. He's calling me a convicted rapist. So how am I supposed to respond to a man who can go out and publicly slander me, but won't take my phone call or do anything else? I'm supposed to just sit and take that.
I understand.
No, we're going to put all the bullshit on the table.
I understand.
And may I please interject something that you mentioned earlier, LoadKast, about women sticking together, tight-lipped, about this and that.
Go ahead.
Rain and Woman plays it fair on both sides. You don't see Rain and Woman running around here with no alliance to no women. Once again, because Rain and Woman don't do clicks. My name is Rain and Woman. It's a branding name, and it's my name. It's not Rain and Women. It's not attached to anything else for somebody else or anything of the sort. I have come under scrutiny for being a cooperative woman and being able to even want to support black men, something that I do in my actual real life. Like who I am online is who I am in my real life. I respect and the men in my life, my real life, the black men around me, I support fully and strongly. If they're wrong, they're wrong. If they're right, they're right. But we push the men around me, and I grew up in a household of families, where we push our black men and our black boys to be everything that they can be. They grow up with love, thriving and going, and we push them against anything anything that's going to make them be less than. So who I am online is the same way that I am offline. But online, through the manosphere and everything, I've become the favorite picker. You can't even stand me for being a favorite picking or whatever. Because I enhance, I acknowledge, I embrace who I'm supposed to be as a woman, my divine and feminine energy. I embrace that. So you can't, so the things that I have come up under from the side, as a casualty because somebody's trying to tell somebody else whatever, has nothing to do with Rain and Woman forming some kind of false allegiance or alliance to women and their BS. That goes against my stand, which once again, I live a life. My goal and my ultimate desire in life is to live a life that honors my parents and my family name, and glorifies God and supports my stand for humanity. I have asked and I have tried and I have encouraged things like this behind the scenes, in back, checking everything to be addressed in a respectful, in a cooperative manner. I actually, prior to the thing that happened, I don't know if you guys were familiar with the thing between the Rollo show, but this is how all of this really began to unravel about a month ago. Had it not been for some confusion, started all over, back over on BMT's end. Had it not been for that, all of this stuff wouldn't have come out like it really wouldn't have. And had it not been for Rallo being willing and being able to talk to me and talk to these guys about the misconfusion to get the clarity, then Rallo with the Rallo Show title was ready to drag Raiden Roman's name through the mud off of a misunderstanding.
Yeah, we
should. You should be more descriptive. Hold on, you should be more descriptive. What she's saying is Joe chose to take a message out of context from a back chat and run to Rollo on some post it and try to start the mess. Now, he misrepresented whatever screenshot he took, and he also went in there and tried to feel like he didn't do it when he was confronted about it. Now, we got at Rollo. Rollo gave us information on where it came from. The source was connected to Joe. We hollered at Joe. Joe then claims that he had nothing to do with it. He had an employee. His employee took it upon himself to do this because he has access to his account. Listen, I'm not no 10-year-old kid. You can't tell me figured out what he was doing. And just if you look back over the history of our dealings with him, he's been doing this for a while. So that was the breaking point. Okay. And then we've been trying to address him and his fuckery, and he's been running on this I'm a victim, help me, niggas hate me for it. And it's ridiculous. I'm tired of this shit.
Hey, you know what? Before I sign out, can I just add one thing, man? Again, like I'm an outsider just looking in, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Can we all just agree all this is lame?
Hell yeah!
It's all lame. That's why I said it's bullshit.
I mean, but this is what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna go back to the whole, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, this whole educated lame and the Pookie thing. Mm-hmm. If this is what's going on, none of the motherfuckers are educated lames, and I know Dusty Pookies don't have time for this. This is just some like lame shit. And at the end of the day, if everything is true, if all of y'all came to the same conclusion that this particular person is who y'all say he is, why don't y'all just isolate and just put the mute button on?
Well, we've already done that, but when you keep saying,
hey, am I supposed to put the mute button on a motherfucker that's coming out here and slandering me?
Oh no, listen, there's nothing you can do unless you can get a plane ticket and physically put hands on them, or if you're going to take it to the legal system.
I can do all that. I can do all that, but the nigga's not going to do it. So I would rather, if you're going to address me on a public forum, I'm going to address you on a public forum.
No, yeah, you can. I mean, you can address them, but I think what you're witnessing is attention whoring on steroids. And when y'all do address the issue, I think y'all feeding into what this particular sad person wants.
Keep the background noise down to a minimum, please. Continue.
Is that my background?
What was you saying, bro?
No. That was my background. Yo, I'm at work, but I'm gonna close with that. So the only thing I'm saying is, it just seems like you dealing with a lane that's seeking attention, and y'all basically feeding into what said person wants. So that's all I got, man. I see.
Well, we get that. That's not what happened at all. That's not what happened at all. Can y'all hear me?
Hold on. Let me. Yeah, hold on. Let me address.
Hey, House, thanks for joining us.
Roger, mute your background.
Guys, please. House, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate you. You're more than welcome to come back. Hey guys, everybody, it's 14 people watching, only 12 likes. Everybody show your love tonight. If you got any questions for anybody who is on the panel and you recognize the name or you recognize the voice, go ahead. If you have any questions, drop in the comment section. I'll relay it over back to the audience. Back to the panel. Continue, ma'am.
Okay. I was asking Roger
to address what he said. At this point, his business has been put out. If you look at that man, everything has been put out. So y'all got to choose whether you want to deal with him or not. You've seen it. Everything that's been put out came with receipts. We got everything's in stone. So at this point, I can't make y'all meet. I can just show y'all what kind of nigga this is, and then y'all can deal with him from there. Period.
Okay. Roger, you were gonna say something?
Yes. Unfortunately, this is like the situation is messy. I had no intentions of being involved in a YouTube beef, but the thing is, what actually happened needs to be said at this point. Because see, I don't like this type of stuff either, and I don't really want to be involved with this type of stuff. But this is what happened. We have worked with BMT. The Habitual Line Steppers have worked with BMT. The Habitual Line Steppers is Kev that's on the panel, Donnie that's on the panel, and myself. Kev kind of knew BMT before Donnie and myself did, so they done had some type of rapport. And Kev, you know what I'm saying, was saying, you know, he cool people or whatever the case is. So me and Donnie just accepted, hey, that's Kev. Kev said dude cool, so hey, we gonna work with the dude or whatever. They have done some, I believe Kev and Donnie has done shows on BMT's show. I've never appeared on BMT's show. I meant to one time, but I was never able to get to it. So, but he has been on my show, BMT, and BMT has been on Kev's show, and he has been on Donnie's show. So for probably maybe 6-7 months, we've worked with this guy from time to time. Everything was supposed to be cool. Obviously, somewhere down the line, he developed a problem with us. That's what it looks like to me. He developed a problem with us. The reason things got totally exposed, where we figured out what was going on, is because we did a show that BMT was on. Anybody who runs a show, they understand that in the Hangouts has a private chat that only the people participating on the show can see. What happened was BMT was in that chat. BMT took a picture that was in that chat, sent it to a third party, and then had that person send it to another person. He did this in an attempt to get the Habitual Line Steppers, at least this is our theory of why he did it. He did that in an attempt to get the Habitual Line Steppers into a beef with a guy that none of us knew. And that's not a diss to that guy. We just had not happened to come across his channel, you know, and it's that simple. And see, my thing is, my channel ain't big. Okay, I don't have a bunch of subscribers. I'm really just trying to put a quail this to somewhat of an extent, because I'm not out here clout chasing or anything like that. And I know me saying it may seem like I'm just trying to get subscribers. I don't want problems and beef and stupidity going on. But the issue was BMT had a photo taken out of that private chat, and there was a question on that photo. Rain and Woman put a photo up asking, was this person related to somebody else? BMT, the picture happened to be Rollo. You see what I'm saying? Now, and we were talking about a whole different person. It was not Rollo at all. So they were trying to figure out, is this person who really is who he said he was, or whatever the case is. So they said, is this person related to that guy? It happened to be Rollo. So BMT takes the picture out of that chat, then gives it to another person that he knows, and he claimed that's his cousin. That cousin has done a show with Donnie and myself like one time, maybe 6-7 months ago, or whatever the case is. This is a guy that we don't talk to. And I'm not saying nothing against that guy. I'm just saying it just happens to be a fact of the matter that we don't talk to this person. So BMT gives it to the guy he claims is his cousin. The cousin has obviously gave it to Rollo. Rollo goes on his channel and does a show dragging Rain and Woman and her crew. Okay? When he's dragging Rain and Woman and her crew, he's doing this because what the information he got sent was that, man, these people are bogus. They talking about you like a dog. I don't want to be a part of this, so I'm stepping out of this chat. That's what BMT says and claims. So he done sent Rollo on a mission like we're talking about him. None of us even know who this man is at this particular point. So Rollo's okay. Well, Rain and Woman knew he was. Okay, so now Rollo goes on a show and he started disparaging Rain and Woman and her crew. And then he shows a picture of everybody who was in the chat, but BMT was missing as far as the names that was in that chat, because it came from a chat that all of us were in. Now, Rollo only sees what Rollo sees. You see what I'm saying? He only knows what Rollo has been told. I don't know what his relationship to Rollo is. I don't know how long he's known this guy. So when Rollo's doing this show, it gets back to us that Rollo's doing a show dragging Rain Woman and her crew. Her crew was the people that was in that chat, which included the Habitual Line Steppers, myself, Donnie, and Kev. Now, when this takes place, we address Rollo on one of his shows. So eventually we get to talk to Rollo. We get him to calm down. We figure out what was going on. You know what I'm saying? We get the information that he got. Now, there's no way that he could have got this stuff unless it came from a person that was in this private chat. Everybody else is basically trying to figure out where this information came from. Joe was the only person, Joe meaning BMT, he is the only person basically not trying to say where his information came from, claiming he don't know, and all this type of stuff. So once we figure out who that third party is, who happens to be a person that Joe claims is his cousin, because we have addressed Joe about it, he's denied everything, but now we telling him, look, bro, we know the man got certain information from this third party who is supposed to be your cousin based on what you say. We don't even know Rollo. So why is he attacking Rain Woman and his crew, meaning us? So now that we found this out, we confronted Joe about it. Joe, he denies everything. But people are not in third grade. The only people who had access to that information was the people that's in that chat. That's it. Okay? So by process of elimination, we know it's him at that point. Okay? We have tried to address Joe. Basically, Joe just showed he's an absolute snake. So there was other funny stuff that was going on here and there, but we didn't have enough information to put two and two together. But once we figured out he pulled this snake move, it just gives clarification to other stuff that was going on in the past that we was trying to figure out.
Now, let me ask
Joe
you
was the
question,
problem.
Roger, how many people were in this private chat?
I don't remember exactly how many people it was. It might have been like 7, something like that.
There's about 7 of us.
Now, what was the purpose of this private chat? Was there a reason for this private chat? The purpose of setting up a private chat? We did a hangout show, and when you do a hangout show, there's a private there's a private chat developed. Okay.
Exactly. So screenshots of Rollo was taken from this private chat, and all it was asking was, is Rollo related to this other person? Okay. That's all it was. Joe tells him these guys are talking bad about you and dragging your name, blah, 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 as if we know who Rollo is. None of us are even aware of him at this point. And again, I'm not trying to say nothing bad about Rollo. We just didn't know who he was at this particular time. So
you're forgetting one important detail.
What's that?
The guy that claims he's BMT cousin put that screenshot in an Instagram post.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, he did. So that's how we made the connection.
So we figure out that this third party that gave it to Rollo and where he got it from is a person that BMT claims is his cousin. So they know each other. Okay, so none of us did it. So that leaves only BMT left. So it's not like we're really guessing on what's going on. By process of elimination, he was the only one left. Okay. So now we try to address BMT or whatever. BMT act like he didn't do it, act like he has nothing. He don't know no knowledge of this, whatever the case. He basically, I guess he going to take it to the grave and never admit that he has something to do with this. So
No, wait, hold up, Roger. He only wanted to talk. He only wanted to deal with me, right? But the thing
you talking about Rollo?
Yeah, no, BMT. He only wanted to deal with me, right? He was trying to get to me and talk to me all by myself, and along with about what's going on with Rollo, because he didn't want to involve these guys because he knew that they had been dealing with him longer than what I had.
Well, yes, and that was when BMT was trying to now cover his track because we done figured out what's going on at this point. Now, based on what we've seen as a pattern, because hindsight is 20/20, as they say, BMT has been trying to basically the females that we deal with on our broadcast, BMT has basically been trying to get those females to work with him and not work with us. Since he's known Kev, and Kev just too good of a person to say it, Kev, BMT also tried to separate Kev from Donnie and myself. You know what I'm saying? But Kev just didn't say nothing about it for a long time. But BMT kept trying to basically bring Kev under his umbrella instead of Kev working with his own team, which just happened to be Donnie and myself. You see, now all this, we know what done happened at this point. We know he done put this mess out. So now BMT is trying to basically draw attention and making it where he wants no one to be able to say anything to him. My theory, because I didn't see the show, you know what I'm saying, because I'm a habitual line stepper, there's certain information that's brought to my attention. I heard about the show that he went on, I believe it was Nyla's channel, and said some sex slave story or something like that. I didn't watch it, don't want to watch it, don't care to watch it, because I'm not interested in the story. It's just that simple. Because I don't believe in no way, because there's a lot of stuff that BMT has said, which kind of makes him seem like a liar. And, you know, like I kept him off my show for a long period of time. Then I tried to, because I'm working with the other habitual line steppers, they still using them. I bring him back to a couple more shows. So it's like, I'm really not liking him as a person. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing against him per se. It's just he's one of those people that I get a negative vibe from. I just don't. He's like, I wouldn't hang out with this guy at all. So now that we find out he's tried to get us in some beef with some guy we don't even know. Now, and to my understanding, BMT is supposed to be representative of trying to help black people, telling black men how to stick together and how to work together and things like that. And he's supposed to be like, have this image of protecting women and things like us and things like that. So while trying to take down the habitual line stepper, because he said it in his broadcast the other day, something about those guys can't grow no more, I'm gonna make their channels die, something like that. So obviously he got some hatred pointed toward us, and because we're doing our channels, it's a problem for him some kind of way. None of us had a problem with this guy until we figured out what he did. So now he's telling these stories, and he made something on his page that Kev mentioned earlier, where and then he made a show, and he basically was talking about Donnie's rape accusation, which he was acquitted from, but he kept saying he was a convicted rapist. You see what I'm saying? And so Donnie is overseas right now, so we're not really talking to him as much as we would normally talk to him. So BMT goes on his show, does this whole big old thing about Donnie is a convicted rapist. Donnie, you know what I'm saying, he gives pushback, and he said, okay, well, since you're doing this, I'm gonna do this show. So he does that show that the gentleman mentioned earlier on his channel, a 72-second video exposing some of the stuff that BMT has been up to. Then he goes on to Uncle Suge's show, and he brings Nicole on, who also knows BMT. I know Nicole deals with BMT because I've talked to Nicole a while back when I first got to know BMT. You know, like my first couple meetings or whatever. And I did a show that she was part of like a few times. So I know who she is as well. So now when they go on Suge's show, it comes out that BMT been doing all this extra stuff, trying to dominate women and all that, which I don't agree with. BMT is never going to be allowed on my show again. And like I said, I'm a small YouTuber. BMT is trying to take the fact that I'm a small YouTuber and Donnie and Kev has less subscribers to him to try to paint a picture that we're trying to clout chase so we can grow our channels, and somehow he's supposed to be helping us, even though that's not the actual case at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about BMT like that. I don't want that dude ever on my show again. What I heard, and I couldn't listen to Suge's whole show, but what I heard, what was going on with Nicole, that dude absolutely disgusts me at this point. I don't want to ever talk to that guy again. And when we tried to address him as a man, that dude was all the way bogus. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to like push no violence toward another black man. But that dude said something to me, like real talk. if I'd have been standing in his face, I'd have probably went upside his head, like real talk. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody to get me to that point where I feel like I need to hit him. But as a man, he's just getting absolutely bogus. And so based on what I'm seeing, he obviously is jealous of somebody when it comes to us three. When we have women on our shows, he talks to them and tries to get them to stop dealing with us and only deal with him, because a couple of women have told that to us that he's been on the channel and been involved with. They've told us at this point. So obviously he's trying to separate women from other men. It looks like so he can control them based on what Nicole's story is. And none of us knew Nicole had this whole situation going on, or I would have advised her to talk to somebody and get away from him a long time ago. Yeah,
Roger. Let me hop in here, and I just want to reiterate when I hopped on Suge's show. I mean, that was purely coincidence, because the night prior I got a message from Nicole, and the message from Nicole was saying, "Why would you post my naked pictures on YouTube? Why would you do this? Tell everybody I'm a whore and a prostitute on YouTube?" And I'm saying, what are you talking about? So at that point, BMT had went to Nicole, because Nicole got a little money about her. And he was going to Nicole saying, "Hey, look, he's slandering you. He's putting your naked pictures up here. You need to go get with your lawyers, and they need to go ahead and take down his channel. Take down his channel right now." So Nicole, being Nicole, she messaged me and told me and confronted me about the situation. So when all this shit popped off, I had to explain to Nicole that I didn't do nothing to Nicole. And I got the receipts basically showing that BMT went out of his way to lie to Nicole, to another woman, and say some shit about me in order to take down my channel. I also got him trying to take down Game Changer's channel. So this is the kind of shit that he do. The rest was just Nicole basically breaking down and telling me at a certain point, all the shit that she was going through with BMT and providing receipts.
Now, see, and my major issue is because I'm on the back scenes of this, because again, I'm not trying to clout chase. I don't want to be involved in no beef at all and trying to dox niggas and all that type of stuff. That's not my style, personally. My channel was about solutions for Black American problems. That's what I try to focus on. The issue is the fact that I know for a fact that Donnie had already been trying to help Nicole before when it came to her drug issues. You see what I'm saying? He had already been talking to her, trying to get her to seek counselors and things like that to try to help her out. It came out by mistake because I happened to be on a phone call and Nicole happened to come to that call, and before I hung up the phone, and it was my fault because I was halfway asleep at the time. And then, as I kind of like woke up, I heard them having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I just said, I didn't mean to find out what was going on with you, Nicole, but I just wished her well and hope that she would kick that issue. So I know Donnie was helping her at a point, but it's obvious to me at this point that Donnie hasn't been helping her, and that's probably because BMT was telling Nicole stuff to get her separated from Donnie so he could have more control over her. That's what it seems like to me at this point. So, like, you know what I'm saying, doing something like that to some females, like, I'm just not with that stuff. There's a lot of things about Black women that, of course, a lot of Black men, including myself, don't necessarily like. But no, that's just way too far. There's no excuse for no man to be doing stuff like that to a woman. So is really disgusting. It don't have nothing to do with no other YouTubers or anything like that. I don't want to be involved in this at all. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? The whole situation disgusts me, and I just wish it never happened. And I just want Nicole to get some help so she'll be okay. But BMT is basically a snake. That's all I can see at this point. How other people measure him, they can measure him from whatever they want to measure him from. But I see him as a snake because I see him pulling snake moves. So that's all I can see him as. So I don't care if that dude become president. That nigga will never be allowed on my channel again. He'll never be allowed in my home. He'll never be allowed in my car. Like, if I ever get around that nigga, it's a problem. I don't ever want to be around a nigga like that. Period. I don't care who he is or what clout he gets. And I don't mean to take over nobody's show, but my thing is the backstory needed to come out because y'all were asking questions about the backstory. That's the true backstory. Joe tried to get us in a beef with a dude we don't know. He tried to get some Black YouTubers basically arguing or fighting with another black YouTuber we don't know. Why he claims he's supposed to be about the black community, which is ridiculous. And he had women thrown under the bus because he didn't care about any collateral damage that would have come out. All that stuff with Nicole, I'm just as surprised as everybody else because I didn't know all that was going on. That was all news to me on the piece of Suge show that I heard. I didn't know stuff was running that deep at all. So, you know, I don't even know what to say about that stuff.
Wow. So, what did you all learn from this so far? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, from my standpoint, this is all still. A lot of this stuff is. It's just petty. Period. It's petty. And the thing about it is that unfortunately, I think sometimes we have to keep in mind that, dude, there's always gonna be some problematic people around us, and the best thing to do is be aware. Just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the environment. You know what I'm saying? And the bottom line is, you know, I'm disappointed to hear y'all say this stuff. Really, I am. And the first time I heard it, I was like, you know what? I can't believe this stuff. Not eMpTy. Can you hear me?
Well, I mean, it's disappointing to find out the dude was into that much stuff. And my thing is like, even though, like I say, Donnie been overseas, so we haven't really been talking to him. So you know what I'm saying? So Kev and myself didn't even know all this was about to come out. Donnie didn't know stuff was running that deep himself. You know, so this is just crazy in my opinion, because I didn't come to the internet to get in beefs with people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care whether it's a big YouTuber or a small YouTuber. That is not what I'm trying to promote. But the only description on my channel is Black American Solutions. That's the description. So that's what I personally stand for. I'm trying to get us not fighting with each other. I'm trying to get us to address real issues. Now, maybe everybody don't like the way I address certain stuff or whatever the case is, but everybody got a right to their opinion. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But I don't mind collaborating with different YouTubers because there's different mindsets we need to be in at different times. Right. But all this petty stuff shouldn't have even came up. To me, the way I'm looking at it, eMpTy started it because he tried to get us in a beef with some dude we don't know, and everything kind of rolled from there. I wish it wouldn't even got to this point, but honestly, I'm glad that it came out about what he's doing to Nicole, because who knows if he's doing this to other women too, you know, and that needs to stop.
Okay. All right, I see it a little bit better now. It's just that, like I said, the first time I was hearing it, I was like, this shit is ridiculous. But any other last words? Because it's about time for me to go ahead and pack up.
Yes.
I just want to say check the back check. I'm gonna drop some screenshots in there because, like I said, everything I do with receipts.
Don't drop me no receipts, because I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want to go too far with this stuff. Get too deep into this stuff. In other words, I'm one of the brothers. I don't want to know too much of this bullshit.
Like I said, if I come with something, then I come with receipts. So
I respect everything you say.
It is what it is. You do it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I just deeply, I don't want to. It's not to say I don't want to be involved in this. It's one of them things where I've learned a lesson. The less you know, sometimes the better off you are.
Yeah, I agree with that, but people will disappoint you.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, that's the reason why I do not. I don't get too involved with everybody out here. But I also know that sometimes, you know, even though somebody might tell me something, I might want to go inform somebody else properly, I realize that can even be problematic. And then even after that, I realize, you know what, just back the hell off, and you know, just come. If I'm gonna come out here to create, if I'm out here for content creators, you know, I got the ones who I'm cool with. I just want you to come on the panel and chop it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And after that, I gotta go because I already know. You know, I already know how people really are. Believe me, in the real world, dude, sometimes you be cool with people, you find that they really are some deep shit, some stuff that you be like, oh my gosh, I hope to God I can forget. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean,
it's just like I tell people, dude, this shit is no different than the real world. But you would think that folk would come over here and be on some other stuff.
What see, and I can agree with that, and that's why I wish this whole situation would have never have happened. Whatever problem BMT had with us, he should have just addressed us in the first place,
Right.
rather than do some snake stuff and try to get people attacked. He could have just talked to us because we was already talking to each other. Like, why you just didn't talk to us? That's all you had to do. You know what I'm saying? And then whatever the issue was, I'm sure could have been resolved. But and my thing is, I don't want to be involved in no YouTube. I'm not, that ain't what I come out here for. You know what I'm saying? So I am disappointed
that your channel is on black. It's usually on black people, on black issues, correct?
Yeah, but the description of my channel is Black American Solutions. So my thing is simply to talk about stuff so we as a people can be better. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have to be how we are. We can change it.
Only associate yourself with people who are doing the same shit. You have to be able to verify what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, action out here, you know, people say stuff, but the action shows up in their content and what type of content they produce. And I'm going to be real with you, some people, you know, I've heard people say all kinds of stuff about other folk. And sometimes I have to admit that I can agree because, you know, one thing doesn't match what you see on the channel. You know what I mean?
Okay, I mean, yeah, understandable, but that's why, like, when I came to YouTube, I was working with Donnie and Kev. You know what I'm saying? BMT was supposedly trying to be helpful toward Kev, so there was no reason for me to have any like negative conclusions to come to that man.
I get what you mean, and then you find somebody trying to create a big disruption. I get that. I get that, you know, and I'm sad to say, dude, that you came out here on one good thing, and it turned into something else. I'm disappointed that even happened. I really am.
Yeah, I'm just sorry I work with the guy at this point, and my solution to the problem is I'm simply never gonna mention that dude on my channel ever again. That's my thing. I'm trying to not mention. I really didn't even want to come to this channel to say this, but if the story is not told about where this come from, it looked like a bunch of childish mess. So I wanted to come on here and be clear about what actually happened, where all this stuff come from, because the guys you had on earlier was making a good point. You don't know what was happening in the background, so unfortunately the background needed to be told to see where all this was coming from. I'm just sad to hear that Nicole, which I know Nicole, I don't know her like super well, but I'm just saying all that stuff was really going down with her. So I'm just gonna take it that even though this is a bad look, at least she'll get some help out of the situation, as far as I can tell. But
you know, I spoke to Nicole. She's a very polite. She's a very, very polite woman. Very nice. You know, she don't seem like she'll hurt a fly, but that don't mean nothing sometimes. You know. But the thing is, I'm glad I had you guys to come out and, you know, and provide me with your perspective so I can come to a conclusion. But this is one of the things where I'm disappointed to hear y'all even say these things. So really, I am. I'm disappointed.
My final words, if I may interject now, may I?
Go ahead.
My final words is, when it begins to get reckless to the point that not only people's character is damaged, but people's sanity and their lives hang in the balance of what people say and do. It is more, it's not just petty, it is not something we just put aside. We have to call it what it is, and that is dangerous. That's dangerous. And so when and because of that, I am going to speak up and out as much as possible, because it's not just about BMT, it's not just about Nicole, it's about every other person that can be affected. That's how powerful social media is.
It is.
You know, if it was just about, you know, oh, you may lose a few friends or you might lose a few supporters, well, you know, that's small. But when someone could possibly fall back into an addiction, or in their life, or not be able to function on work, or continue to take care of their family, or move from day to day because of things that's being said and done. And because somebody you trust doesn't care and are are demonstrating characteristics of a predator, you cannot just sweep it under the rug. To do that is to continue to aid in the destruction of what I stand for. And like I said, I take a stand for humanity. And that's my final word.
All right. All right, here's my final word, because I know you're going to have BMT on your show tomorrow. Just two things before he bring it up. Number one, he might bring up the fact that he probably going to say something like, I'm salty because he's timed me out in O'Shea Duke Jackson super chats. You know, and I tried to address that with him too, personally, talking, and he didn't say anything about it. So just in case he comes on the program tomorrow saying, oh, Kevin just salty because he got timed out in O'Shea super chat. I'm not saying it because I'm salty. I'm saying it because it's true. But yeah, I am a little pissed off about that kind of shit and him not admitting to it. And I knew it was him anyway. Number two, I want when I came to YouTube, I wanted a 100% organic channel. So I have no need to beef with anybody on YouTube for any reason. In fact, out of those 200 videos, I have a lot of newsworthy stories. So I really tried to stay out of the fuckery part. But based on my character and the character of my associates, if we have a problem, we're going to address it. We can address it like professionals, or we can take it there. And he took it there. So that's it. That's my only perspective. I mean, well, that's my perspective. But again, my channel's Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Check me out. Subscribe if you haven't. Also subscribe to the other two, Donnie Casanova at Youaintshitfor Watching, Roger Stevens of the Roger Report. We got pretty good content, and hopefully we'll see you. And also LoadKast, keep doing your thing, and thanks for visiting my channel. I saw you in the chat that time. So
hey, you're welcome, man. Hey, do me a favor, sometime y'all come back again, we'll talk about something else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's plenty of topics, plenty of great topics to talk about. I agree.
I'm glad we had this community chat. You were gonna say something, Roger?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say I appreciate being able to come to your channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to clear the air. I don't really want YouTubers beefing. I found out about what BMT did on his channel, which I thought was kind of bogus, because you're trying to paint somebody as a rapist that's not. Black men got enough stuff going on without us dealing with that too. You know what I'm saying? And black men get accused of rape all the time, and they innocent. So to me, that was like you're trying to view black men through the eyes of white supremacy. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, somebody said he raped you, so you obviously guilty. Like that's not how I do stuff. If there's no information to make a legitimate reason for me to think that he actually did something, I'm not gonna just simply say the man guilty just because somebody want me to say that. I don't want to be involved in no beefs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much my name was dragged up in there. I know it was dragged in at least once or twice, or whatever the case is.
The commentary was too damn long. It was too long.
Okay, my bad,
when
bro.
I thought it was over, it wasn't over.
Okay, my bad. Well, I appreciate being able to come to your channel, and I just want to clear the air.
No, that's not what I was saying. Yeah, I'm just saying the other video, I guess you were referring to.
He talking about Joe.
Okay. Well, my bad. I misunderstood. But
cool. No, I thought you were talking about Suge's content, and I was like, it was just too long for me.
Oh yeah, he get 2 8-hour versions.
Are you able to hear me better now?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I just mistook what you were talking about. Yeah, I only watched some of Suge's channels, but unfortunately, the part I caught some very disturbing things when it comes to what he was doing with Nicole. It was very disturbing. And when I actually heard Rain and Woman come on the show, and she described how a predator moves, and when Nicole said it went exactly like what Rain and Woman described, like that really opened my eyes to something.
But here's another thing too. I want us to also keep in mind is that this is the most important thing to me. And I know some people say we gotta call stuff out. I agree, but understand something, people. If you call out the wrong stuff, you might put yourself in a bad light, or even I got a gut feeling one of these damn days, one of these hangouts is gonna end up going to court. I got a gut feeling, and that one day it's gonna be on some silly shit. I'm just telling you, I got a gut feeling it's gonna be on something real silly, and everybody gonna know it was silly. But you know how they do it. You know how they do us when we go to court. Even though they know it's some BS, they gonna see what they can get. They gonna see what they can get you on. And I got a good feeling because some of us are really not careful about what we say and what we do out here. And that's on the front end, that's on the back end. And like I said, the way some things are being presented, especially when they go to Suge's channel, you know, Suge can run all night on your ass. Y'all know that. And the thing about
me myself, I really don't know Suge's channel well because I've not really watched it. Not a diss against him. I'm not really haven't really watched his channel that much. But I was made aware because Donnie was going on the channel. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm okay with Donnie going on the channel. Let me check it out. See, because, you know what I'm saying? He's an habitual line stepper. Let me check out what he's doing. So then when I happened to look at it, then I heard all that stuff going on with Nicole and all that. I mean, that was crazy to me. So that was all news to me at that point.
And the way everything was being presented, it's like, the bottom line is, dude, when you call stuff out, especially out here, you got to understand, dude, when you, right now y'all look at my chat, y'all say it's only 18 people. I have no clue. We really have no clue of who might see this shit later or who made a copy of it. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes, dude, it be people who their whole job is to watch you. And you got to keep in mind, too, you got some people, dude, based on the type of work they do, it is their responsibility to report what they see and hear. You know what I mean? And the thing about some of us, dude, we're not cautious or careful about what it was. And like I said, looking out for Joe on the end of just being another man and being a black man. I know some of y'all say this on pro-black shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that us as a culture, we have been taught to hang. We have been conditioned to lynch each other, and we don't even know it sometimes.
I agree.
I do agree with that, and that's why my issue with Joe is what I know about Joe. I know Joe pulled a snake move toward me that included me.
Okay.
My response to that, I said something. I haven't talked to Joe since. I'm not trying to talk to Joe. I don't want to talk to Joe. I'm not trying to even bring up Joe's name. The only reason I even came to this show was because it was being discussed and people were saying stuff. And my thing is, people don't really know what the story is. And just like y'all said, it's a backstory to everything. Mm-hmm. I never had no problem with Joe. Why Joe was trying to include myself or these guys into a bunch of mess, we truly don't know. We believe it's jealousy or something like that, but we honestly don't know because Joe hasn't told us. You know what I mean? Hey. I don't want to be involved in this stuff. I don't.
LoadKast. Hold on, LoadKast. Yeah. Now, just going along with what you were saying, you know what? Yeah, black people have been conditioned to go ahead and lynch each other. But just remember and understand, a day prior to Suge's show, he did a whole show with a bunch of people on there calling me a rapist and a pedophile. Okay. Talking about don't come to South Carolina, you're going to get killed. Don't come to Texas because we're going to shoot you. So understand, this man put himself in that position.
I understand what you're saying, bro. I really do. It's just like I said, this is just me coming out.
That shit,
this is me just coming out and trying to make something a little bit more comprehensive.
Hey, I get it, but you got to understand, that man put my life in jeopardy. You understand?
The word rape.
That you can prove that was a lie. He called me a pedophile. That's just not even on the record, but he ranking some shit up. So you understand, when motherfuckers hear the word pedophile, they get triggered and do something to you. So yeah. I could just be walking down the street and motherfucker do something with me.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a buzzword that Google picks up in logs in its categories. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. So
be careful. That's what I'm saying.
Keep in mind, he got multiple pictures of me up there talking about where I live at and everything else. So this is an individual who really put my life at risk. So at the same time, I got every right to show who you are. Go ahead.
I know it got that deep and he did that much. But like I said, I don't watch his channel. And I don't watch BMT's channel, and I just wasn't watching Suge's channel. And I'm not saying anything as far as trying to slight those brothers. I'm just saying, from a matter of fact, I simply didn't watch their channels. I watch other YouTubers' channels, and I don't really watch a whole channel of anybody. I basically get everything in bits and pieces because I don't want to be involved in mess and niggatry and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wish Donnie would have been kind of on stateside so we could have talked about this before all this even had came out. But I mean, it is what it is at this point. And what can I tell a man who BMT chose to do that to? Because that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And calling somebody a rapist does put people in danger, because we all got brothers, cousins, uncles, and all that type of stuff, and friends. And a lot of times, if the right woman, and a pedophile, and if the right woman say to the right man that this dude did this, we're just going to react. And you know what I'm saying? So I don't like that at all. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I got female relatives. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what BMT is really all about, obviously. But I mean, y'all can even say Nicole is lying, but based on the snake move I know he did, and the other stuff that I've seen that looked funny, because it's been funny stuff going on for months, and now I'm pretty sure it was BMT behind all that other funny stuff that was going on. So I'm gonna have to kind of say, well, it's probably true with what Nicole is claiming. So I just don't want to associate with that man no more. I don't want to talk to him no more. I don't want nothing to do with him, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's fine enough. It's just like I said, the bottom line, I want when people come to this channel, they can at least, get enough information that they can look at it and just come to their own conclusions. You know what I'm saying? And just leave it there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad y'all did come over, and y'all did that y'all definitely came out and stated what y'all had to say and give y'all perspectives. I really appreciate it, because like I said, when I was hearing it yesterday, it sounded pretty ugly. It sounded ugly because I caught it in the very beginning of it, where there was a lot of other pushing and shoving going along in the conversation too. And I also know that sometimes some people out here, they don't, I get it. Let me just shut up. I get it now. But it is what it is, man. But like I said, tomorrow, Joe he'll be on here by himself, and he'll say what he got to say. And if y'all want to, you know what to do. Go to your respective channels. I would encourage you, and just make your own rebuttal videos if you feel like you should, but don't hop on another panel from that point. You feel me?
Well, I have no intentions, because I don't really want to join my life basically at any point at this point, because I know he did something where he tried to get me into a beef with another man. And when men get into beef, sometimes people die. That's not stuff to take lightly, even if it was a YouTuber. I don't know that man at all. He could have got upset and killed me. I don't know. So to me, none of that stuff is okay.
And at the very basic of it, I don't appreciate somebody trying to make me kiss their ass. That's ridiculous.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, let me say this. I really don't plan. I didn't even plan to really even come on this show, but it was something that apparently I had to address. But I at this point, for the most part, I'm done. I'm dropping the receipts, showing that everything I do is backed up by proof. But as far as me and Joe,
I hate to say this though,
I ain't
bro.
got nothing else to say.
How about not dropping the receipts and just, you said what you had to say. You're done with it. See, the thing I'm trying to get you to understand too, as a brother, you said what you need to say. Leave it alone from that point, unless it magically starts to start up all of us. I'm getting sleepy. If it starts to start up again,
I don't want
questions. Go ahead, but try not to perpetuate this foolishness. You know what I mean?
Listen, again, what I'm saying is everything I do with proof. So there's no second guessing me. But I understand what you're saying, but there's no second guessing me. As far as me and Joe is concerned, all I want from Joe is the fair one. Joe, you chose to say this. I'll come out to Charlotte. I know you live in South Carolina. Just shoot me the fair one. As far as that, everything else, I'm done. Just shoot me the fair one, Joe.
So next year, me and SuperTriz are going to open up the Manosphere Boxing Gym. We haven't decided what the location's going to be, but when we get that thing started, y'all more than welcome to come.
It's gonna be in Vegas.
It's gonna
be in Vegas.
Yeah, it should be too. Where y'all can come out and work out y'all differences.
Oh yeah, Joe said he used to box. I used to fight, so we can get it popping all day. We can meet in the cage, we can meet in the ring, whatever he want to do.
And this is how we solve all manosphere conflicts from this point on when they need to escalate.
Well, I'm going to encourage that we don't come to violence and all that type of stuff, because that's not what I stand for. But I talked to Donnie offline. But you know what I'm saying? This stuff is too big. It should have never went this far, and I hope it stops at this point. I really do. I understand BMT gonna come to your show and say his piece, but I hope it stops.
I'm gonna do my best to encourage people to just stop, because you already know this shit can go on for the next 2 years if people ain't careful. And believe me,
we've seen.
And on social
we've seen
media,
what beefs look like
in social media, because we all share the same doggone audience. We all share the same audience. You know what can happen? This turns around and starts disrupting other people's channels. And I notice every time the manosphere and everybody start to quiet back down and focus on their channels, somebody always pops up with some conflict, and everybody it's so distracted. And like I tell people, I swear sometimes these distractions are all intentional to take people's minds off what's important. I mean, if y'all ain't forgot, remember we were talking about reparations, and Professor Black Truth and Jason Black were talking about reparations and what we need to do. And the next minute, you got this big bullshit ass disruption, and everybody's minds shifted to the foolishness.
That stuff happens all the time.
And the thing about it, we don't realize, dude, that's the art of war tactic. That's tactful. And sometimes we don't pay attention to it. Every time we get quiet out here on social media, and black social media, the digital violence starts back up.
Well, my thing is, I'm looking at it from a different perspective, because my thing is, people have family and relatives, and I would hate for someone's family or relatives to get hurt or killed over some nonsense beefing. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, please don't say that, because it should never come to that far. It should never go that far. It should never have to go that far with us. We should be able to voice out our concerns and know when to walk away, and everybody should have sense enough to know when to freaking stop. And I hope based on the fact that this has been Joe's exposure, Joe has been brought out to the light, I'm hoping that Joe himself will understand where he needs to stop. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us, dude, I've said this many times in the past. When I was a kid, I realized one thing about some of my people. I'm going to tell y'all a story. When I was a kid, I used to sometimes have to take intentional L's, even sometimes in fist fights. Because some niggas just don't know how to just take an ass whooping and let the shit stop. You know, I got my own way of saying it. Digital, yes, you're right. It is a digital disruption. But I'm calling it digital violence because out here people start throwing doxing information and calling each other's children's names, and it can get pretty damn ugly. So I think digital violence was pretty.
Yeah, I stay away from that.
Was pretty accurate. Am I lying, guys?
No, I have to agree.
It get pretty ugly out here with this shit. But the thing about it is, you know, I know some people might want to call me a social justice warrior. I'm far from it. But the thing about it
you're not a social justice warrior.
The thing about it is, you know, at some point you realize that, dude, it's not healthy even it's not healthy for even the online community, because this stuff, dude, believe me, it really be messing up the audience too, and the audience starts to gravitate towards it and love it, and they eat this bullshit up, and they'll go to everybody's channel, everybody get views off of it, but then it's time to buckle back down and focus on what's important. Nobody can do it. And it seems like, you know what it turns us into some kind of way? Like little crack kids, like little crack babies. You know, crack babies don't really always, they can be real disruptive, but as some people say, the minute you spark that crack pipe up, they all become calm. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, behind the scenes, I'm going to encourage Donnie to let this go. Behind the scenes,
please do.
I'm not going to talk to BMT because I don't want to reach out to him at all. I'm just done with him.
And that might be that's the best the best approach. And I'm pretty sure everybody else will see this here. They'll make their own decisions on what they're going to do.
Yeah. People can make whatever. I mean, we're not. I didn't come on here intending to sway anyone. I mean, just I would encourage everybody to focus on the tangible.
So let me ask you a question on your channels. If you got the share button, if the share button is available, take this video and share it on your respective platform so people can see it for themselves. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right. SuperTriz, you got anything else you want to say tonight, brother?
You know,
Come on, brother.
all I want is the situation to. I just want the situation to be resolved, because I think that with YouTube, there's so much potential for growth and for building, and it's not like we don't need it as a collective. So, the faster we get this situation behind us, the faster we can get back to the business of advancing, as a collective. Because that's what I really want to see. I as much as the fuckery and buffoonery is it can be entertaining, I'm not gonna lie, but when we start talking about people being accused of sexual assault, it stops being funny, and I say that from my perspective because I've been accused of sexual assault, and I've talked about that on my platform many times, about what I had to go through, about
understand
how I had to be out of work, go back and forth to the lawyer, talking to the lawyer, going back and forth to court, all the money I spent on the lawyer. The lawyers are not cheap. I mean, just the retainer was $10,000. Then they want $385 an hour.
Tell me about it.
And
some y'all can't afford that shit.
Yeah.
And put you on start bullshit.
Yeah, and so this stuff is really serious. And then somebody hears like, oh well, you got accused of sexual assault, so now you a mark, because it's like you already got that stain. Even as men, even when we get clear to that type of stuff, right? You still have that reputation because people remember you being accused. They don't necessarily remember you being cleared.
Exactly, it is true. They don't look at that when they go to look in these databases. It can say all they got to do is say the word felony. They'll run with you like, I never went to court, I was never convicted, but it says felony. That's how they do us. But like I said, but we don't realize as black folk, this is how we lynch our own selves, by perpetuating this bullshit that contributes to it.
And then on top of that, sexual assault is something serious. Like you got to register as a sex offender. Like, it was a lot of stuff that I was facing.
It's one of the worst crimes that you could be put in the jail system for. When you go into that jail system,
the police came up to my job. I'm at work. I work in healthcare, right? They said I couldn't even work. That was clear. Like, I was about to lose my life to practice. I was going to have to be a truck driver. And nothing wrong with truck drivers, but I mean, I was seriously constantly like, okay, what can I do for work? Like, this was some serious stuff. Like, so like when we talk about accusations like that, like, it's not even funny no more. So this is why, and I feel you, LoadKast. I know you don't want to get involved, but when people start talking about stuff like that, I can understand somebody wanting to show the receipts. Like, look, like, I don't know if you heard about me, but this is what I'm about. This is what this person's about that's accusing me. Like, I feel you wanting to show your receipts on that. I feel you. But at the end of the day, I think that, like I said, the faster we move forward from this, the better, because, stuff like this, it really, really is distracting. Like, the whole past week been spent dealing with this. And that's the week we can't get back. But now we got to deal with this, not only this past week, but going into next week. We still got to finish because this is not sorted out yet. You see what I'm saying? And so stuff like this, like, we got to stay focused, because like I don't know if y'all see my channel, my Age of Aquarius series specifically speaks to us as a people and the reason why we don't have time for foolishness. We really don't.
We can't afford it,
So
man.
that's all I
We
think
got.
about that. Thank you for having me, LoadKast.
Oh, you're welcome. But just to keep it on your minds, dude. African Americans. I know some of y'all get this shit confused between blacks and when you say black and African American, we're talking about two separate distinctions. African Americans are on the verge of extinction in this country. And most of y'all do not want to even acknowledge that response. Don't want to acknowledge that. I feel like we don't want to acknowledge it because it requires some work. And like I said, most of the women do. Y'all gonna have to, sisters, understand. You got your problems with your men, but y'all gonna have to fix that. You're gonna have to work together some kind of way. But you see how these other panels out here are having all this extra crazy stuff to say, and they're willing to stay on the foolishness no matter what, because you know what? It garners views. They want to argue about everything. They'll throw up a few little Hail Marys here and there because they know they can get a couple of dollars for doing it. And y'all see how we operate out here. Everybody out here is operating for all the crazy reasons, for all their own personal reasons. But when it comes down to what really is important, what really matters, it seems to just be ignored. So I'm hoping that
I'm going to encourage all this stuff to stop.
So if you truly are content creators, y'all more than welcome to come work with me. I got if you need graphics, designs, and stuff, or questions about how to help with your channel or help improve your channel to some degree, we can work together on that. But the back end shit, please, let's keep that away unless somebody's coming for me specifically, and it's very important for me to know. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep among ourselves in this little circle here. Keep that to a minimum. But everybody else, let them keep doing it, because eventually they're gonna run out of gas somewhere. It's only so far you can go with this shit, but eventually it's gonna catch up with you. And there's only so much road you can take with this stuff. So let it catch up with them. And like I said, I'm glad everybody came out here and said something. But unfortunately, I'm out of gas myself, and I need to go. So I appreciate everybody coming on, and hopefully tomorrow you all will show up tomorrow night when Joe is up here, and then maybe the young lady, she says she'll come on after Joe, and they can talk. But I don't want them talking together. I want them to talk as individuals, and I'm hoping that everybody takes away something important from the conversation and make their own decisions if they want to bother with Joe or bother with if they want to be involved with anybody who is involved with this situation. Anyways, I'm LoadKast. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We got 21 people watching. I only got 16 likes. I thought y'all liked LoadKast. I thought y'all appreciate LoadKast, but it's obvious there's a lot of people just in here just eavesdropping. Go ahead, show your support. Press the like button. Shout out to to my co-host Z. She know I'm sleepy as hell right now. And shout out to Rain and Woman also. I appreciate her. And I appreciate everybody who came out tonight, but unfortunately now I gotta go. Peace.